Good morning, welcome to Bitcoin Bounce. My name is Joseph and today I'm here with Dion. Today we are going to look at Bitcoin, what's happening. This is an important week for us. Is Bitcoin gonna hold? And then Dion is gonna give us an awesome trading opportunity on the AVAX coin. Good morning, Dion.
Good morning, Joseph. Morning, guys. Okay, after that pullback we had over the weekend, let's quickly just start with the market indicators. So the US dollar, which rules everything, has made a big push up and it's made a new local high. So for quite a few weeks we had a local high back here in 14 July, and then we came and tapped that 23 August, and now we've made a new high. So we thought at the end of last week that we were actually under this resistance level here, which is now turned into support. But so at the moment that's not good for the market. So when that happens and the US dollar does that good, everything else just pulls back. You can see here on the right hand side of my screen all the big tech stocks, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, they're all like way down. And if we then look at the indexes, Nasdaq, which is also very correlated to Bitcoin, big massive pullback. So you don't have to worry just looking at Bitcoin that it's not a Bitcoin thing, it's just a general market thing. So all the markets are suffering when the dollar rises like that, and the S&P 500 also big massive red candle. So we have just the macro economy and the dollar against us, so we have to just stop the growth of that dollar and get it to pull back down to these lower levels, and round about here we would be doing well again in crypto and all the other markets. So looking at Bitcoin, just quickly the weekly. So the problem on the weekly is this 200 MA that we've been worried about for quite a few weeks now. We were so happy when we broke out and retested and stayed above it, but 2 weeks ago we dropped, closed below, and this week again we had a red close. And worst thing now is that we've actually closed under our weekly support, which is really not good for Bitcoin. So first priority would be to break this weekly support and then break that 200 MA. So those are the big things on the weekly. On the daily, if we zoom in a bit, there's this one indicator that is like kind of quite a nice peace of mind indicator to look at that I wanted to introduce you to. It's called the CPR, and this works off pivot points, and you'll see if you follow the financial markets and forex markets and all that, all the articles that you normally read, the guys always show the pivot points for that, whether they're looking at gold or whatever. So this indicator was built around that that theory, and it has these three lines, which is like kind of the average best price, or recommends the kind of average trading price, where that according to the previous month, where that whatever you're trading, gold or Bitcoin or whatever, should kind of be trading in the next month. So what's really nice about it is that it gives you a projection of the month ahead. Like on the 1st of, what we're in August now, 1st of September, it would actually give you these zones for the next month, which is actually it's one of the very few indicators that gives you advanced notice, not of what's going to happen, but kind of the trends that one should be looking at. So if we just look back in time, we can just stop anywhere. Yeah, so this was in September, so just a random spot. So 1st of September these printed, and it does not change throughout the month. So at the end of October, or August, sorry, end of August, it would have printed those lines, and that's it for the month. So you can see a week later it tapped that first resistance zone there, came back down to the bottom, and within these also, so you could basically take trades, and many people just trade this. They would trade from that first support back down to this, and then within that take trades from that first blue line to the middle, and then from there to the bottom there, back to the top, back to the top. So just back and forth, back and forth. You have people that just take daily trades. When they have a confirmation that it's above these three line zones, then they would target that first green one there. So you can see it's fairly accurate. Let's just quickly scroll through. You can see it hit the first resistance, second, and then the third. And then what's very nice is that it actually gives you a very good idea of the trend. So when the next month's 3 blue lines, or if they're above this month, it says that we're generally now in an uptrend, no matter what happens actually within it just gives you an overall view of what's happening. And yeah, you can see that the blue bars still open a little bit higher, which is using all that data, so it was a little bit incorrect that month. But then as it started coming down, you can see the blue lines were falling. Yeah, we were going sideways, and yeah, the blue lines started dropping. This was April, around about April. So again, just zooming in, you can see there we tapped the exact top of that zone. Where's some more examples, and then when we came down, we went into that middle 3 bands, and then at the bottom, so you could have traded that top to bottom through those zones, and then from that one to the red. And what I also wanted to show you is in all the months, if you go back on this, Bitcoin had hardly ever hit the second and third, so it hits this first zone, whether it's the green one or the red one, it hits probably like 80% of the time. So if you have a confirmation that you're leaving the area of the 3 blue lines, it's like an 80% odds that you're going to actually hit the first pivot line, which is below that. And then I would guess around about 50-60% then that you would hit that one, and then to hit the third one back over all the months back is very, very, very seldom that actually happens. You can see here it happened, and yeah, I think it happened twice this year. So it's very seldom that does actually happen. So it's you can also just see them as very strong support and resistance lines. So even if this is red, it's actually a support line to bounce off and go back to the upside. You can see like what's happened here. So it like really stopped the price there and sent it back up. And in these zones, you can see they were also fairly accurate when this was in July. So from the bottom to that first line, from the first line to the middle to the top to the middle, to the bottom one. And again, yeah, it was very strong support for the price there. It struggled to get through, but then eventually just bombed straight through, and now struggling to get back up to back into that little blue zone. So I've just mapped the zones that are important for us now. So the CPR zones here of this first level, 19785. So we've already broken that. We need to just hold that, but the problem is that line is our weekly support, so we need to break and hold both of this in this area. And once we've done that, and we have a good base there, then we can target back up to this 21750, and as I say, that's like a 80% odds that we would hit it according to this indicator. And as I say, you can go through years of data. It's a very, very, very accurate indication of what's going to happen with price. We can quickly just have a look at Ethereum as well. So this is Ethereum on the daily. So the very interesting thing with Ethereum, so Bitcoin has on this indicator, it's broken through those 3 zones into the first support at the bottom. But look at Ethereum is still in that zone. So Ethereum is just trading way better. It's probably because of just all the Ethereum supporters and Ethereum hype at the moment, but Ethereum is just very strong. It didn't break down like normally it would have broken. Everything else breaks lower than Bitcoin normally when Bitcoin breaks. So it just shows you how strong Ethereum is at the moment. So it hasn't even left that zone yet, so it's really very, very strong. If we look at the EMA ribbon as well, let me just turn this other one off. You can see that we haven't even broken the EMA. We haven't had that EMA ribbon flip, where if we go back to Bitcoin, you can see we've flipped a while ago, and it's completely flipped. The green is at the bottom, the red is at the top. So Bitcoin, just on this daily time frame, it's looking much worse than Ethereum is. So Ethereum is really, really looking strong, and we must just look at it. So at the moment it's leading the market. So once this starts going up, the first resistance here would be this 1.5. So that would be the one that we're targeting. We have to just break that and hold it, and if that starts going up, Bitcoin, I think, will do the same. We can quickly have a look at our trade that I'm looking at is AVAX BTC. So this is on the daily chart, and there's by no means is this a trade yet, not with the way the markets are now. We'll have to give it a day or two just for things to settle. Let's just see what is going to happen in the markets, but this is really a good trade coming up on AVAX, so it's an awesome coin. And if you put the fib on it from just this pullback that we've had has pulled back down to the 382 zone, which is a fantastic entry, and it's getting into the zone. It's got very strong resistance here historically. It's got massive bounces out of that area, so it's really getting into a very, very nice area. It's pulled back 30% from there to where we are now, and the trade that I would do, the first target always is like a 90% chance that it's going to hit, is the 618. So just from here up to that 618 fib level is a good 15% trade. So we're waiting for that one, but obviously first we're waiting for dollar, waiting for Bitcoin and everything just to settle and show that we found some kind of a base and starting to go back up before we would get into this. But this is a nice trade coming up. That's it from me, Joseph.
So Dion, that's a very interesting indicator that he showed us there. So what do you think? Do you think it will bounce on that support level and go up, or do you think it might bounce through, the Bitcoin might bounce through that support and even go down to another level?
At the moment, I think it's going to bounce and hold. I think there's really a lot of support where we are now, and it has in fact already bounced. But you can't trust that first candle. We'll have to have a retest and see on the second try down if it manages to break through or not. But we know that there's a lot of support down there for Bitcoin, and it has already bounced off. So it's looking good to hold that bounce and then break up and back up to the top range.
So yeah, when I measured the pole the other day, I saw, once that bear flag broke to the downside, that it could go all the way down to 18,500 if it wanted to. So there is a possibility for a little bit more downside. This AVAX is an awesome coin. It's a great project. There's a lot of people that is putting, big guys that's putting funding behind it. So the long-term fundamentals of AVAX is good. So I think even if you want to jump in and try and see if you can do a 25 or 30% take profit, that is very, very possible to do. So I'm definitely going to take hold of this opportunity and buy the AVAX coin. Awesome, thank you, Dion. Guys, that was a really good session. I want to encourage you to put that indicator. I'll ask Dion to put for us in the description just maybe a link or a name of that indicator, and then you can just add it on your trading view. I think especially if you want to put it on your long-term chart, that will be a great indicator to have. Awesome. So we're going to be back in an hour, and we're going to listen to Steve from Crypto Crew University, and he's looking at 4 charts, and especially about the weekly close. Are we closing above or below that 210 moving average? And that's a very important close for us right now to see, is Bitcoin going to go even lower, or is it going to start to consolidate before we're going to enter into the bull run? So I look forward to see you there. Thank you, Dion.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Joseph. See you guys later.